Donald Trump's pitiful birthday parade is officially over. But the backlash is not. That's right, America is not done ripping this pathetic display, and the right wing is certainly not done coping about it. First, Donald Trump constantly argued that this was an event to honor the military. It just so happened to fall on his birthday. Then how come at the event, they sung happy birthday to Donald Trump, even before the national anthem?
Ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, would you please rise for this?
Yeah, not only is that just incredibly embarrassing, even Melania appears to recognize that this entire ordeal was humiliating. It's also been pointed out that the soldiers marching don't really look to be marching at all. They're just kind of walking, maybe even in defiance to Donald Trump. Trump also caught some backlash from a retired Army general who put this entire parade on blast.
Well, first of all, I'm very proud of the United States Army. They did a magnificent job yesterday. I mean, they executed the mission, conducting this parade absolutely brilliantly and flawlessly, as I knew they would, and they always do. Having said that, it was a colossal waste of time, effort, and money. We don't need, that's not who we are. We don't do these kind of things. We don't march down the streets like that. We prove ourselves and our value as an army, our strength as an army, through our actions, not parades. That's something that dictators do.
Even Mike Pence had something to say.
But I do want to quickly ask you about something the FBI Director Kash Patel warned to LA protesters, rather. He said, hit a cop, you're going to jail. Doesn't matter where you came from. This is from a director who supported the president pardoning all the rioters, including the ones who beat up police officers who were defending the Capitol, defending you on January 6th. What did you make of that?
Mm-hmm. Well, let me say first off, I welcome the statement. It's a correct statement. We simply cannot allow or stand by while people in the midst of protests assault law enforcement officers. It's one of the reasons I thought the president was wrong to pardon people who assaulted police officers on January 6th.
But none of this nonsense is as bad as the right-wing cope. That's right. Conservatives have been coping about how much of a fail this entire event was, but MSNBC quickly exposed the lies. Take a look.
Vaughn, with everything you just said, how do you think President Trump is kind of taking this all in, right? He wanted this huge display. He wanted lots of people. I think at one point I was told from folks in the administration they were expecting, hoping for 200,000 people to show up. How do you think the president is kind of taking this on? Does he think it was a success?
Well, look at it this way. His communications director, Stephen Chung, this morning put out a social media post in which he said there were 250,000 people that came out for this parade. That's just not accurate. It's not even close to accurate. And so that's the way that this White House would like to present it. But just the eye of any individual who is here on the ground or looking at images or video knows that there were not 250,000 people, but that can be the White House's position here. At the same time, there were hundreds of thousands of individuals that showed up in major cities, that showed up but also in small towns where in all 50 states to take part in these peaceful demonstrations around the country. And that was happening. Those protests were happening at the exact same time. I was watching on my phone as the parade was taking place, and the president for almost 3 hours alongside his VP, Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, while that parade was going on, Americans were in the streets like this. And so I don't think it was the type of imagery that he wanted. And especially here in Washington, D.C., you guys are here. There was not this sort of mass protest that he was alluding to and saying that he would suppress and use strong force against. So in so many ways, there were contradictory images that I think are tough to reconcile for this White House at a moment in time that he's trying to exert this strong executive power. At the same time, you're seeing this sort of grassroots demonstrations pop up around the country.
Long story short, Trump and MAGA once again infuriated by numbers.